sorry.
You were already, we were already live.
Yeah, I didn't
It
realize.
was on air.
Just someday we're gonna actually like be live on air while we're doing this.
Yeah, next week or 2 weeks we will.
Yeah. No, on May
Month, May 20th.
May 20th, we're gonna go to an event.
Which she probably knows about.
Yeah, you probably know about it.
No.
Yeah. Is it the Magic House with Fausto?
Oh.
Yeah. We're gonna go live and what are we doing there?
Well, it's an all-day event, so
Yeah.
we're gonna just podcast live for
Yeah.
like 4 hours straight.
Wow.
What was all that noise behind me? That's really loud.
Yeah.
You like that? You like that water?
Fruit water.
Anyway, you asked why we started this podcast. My daughter's boyfriend of 5 years just passed away on 9/11 from a fentanyl poisoning that we learned from Mike Fiore.
Oh no.
We call it poisoning now because I liked that he called it poisoning.
Yeah.
So yeah, and my daughter found him dead in his bedroom.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's terrible. There we go.
Yeah, you have to hear yourself.
Okay.
If you can't hear yourself, you're doing something wrong.
Got it.
Okay.
You're just all up on your mic. Huh? You're
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
good. You're
If
good.
I don't feel it on my hair, I'm not happy.
That's like public speaking 101.
Yeah.
Microphone, you got to be able to like feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Right on the chin.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Just underneath.
I've never done public speaking, and I don't like public speaking.
Oh.
I like podcasting.
Podcasting
Yeah.
because there's no public.
Yeah,
around.
there's
It's
no
the
public.
cameras.
Right.
Cameras don't bother me. I actually forget that they're even here.
Mm.
So that's actually why we started the podcast, primarily because I really like I'm going after the fentanyl crisis.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many people are dying.
Yeah. Absolutely.
300 people per day. That was last year's statistics.
Yeah.
120,000 people died from fentanyl poisoning last year. And they're not doing when I say they, I guess I'm usually talking about the government.
Yeah. Them.
But I think it's the people in general. None of us have done enough yet. I
Yeah.
think we are.
Yeah. What's your primary strategy for stopping fentanyl overdose or poisoning?
Well, we could start with closing the border. We could start there.
That would help.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
we
Yep.
we can
We
start
love
there.
the color red in this room. Well, I'm sorry. Never mind. That's not here, there.
Neither here nor there.
No.
Yeah.
Found myself in the right room again.
Uh-huh.
Yes, yeah. Right.
See what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The revolution has begun.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're starting. We're going
Good.
after it.
Good or good.
You
Oh,
know?
that's
And that's
important.
just the beginning. You know.
Good.
We're gonna attack it full force.
Mhm.
So the podcast is part of it. We also have a street team where we go out and hit the streets and
Raise awareness.
raise awareness.
Yeah.
We're gonna do more. Keep going.
Okay.
Meeting cool people like Fausto and Mike Fiore
Yeah.
and
Shavon.
Shavon. Yeah.
Great. Awesome.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. Where'd you start? Like a long time ago.
I was born.
Yes.
I was born in Ventura.
Oh, so you're a
California.
California girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm one of
he's
those.
a California boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. What part?
I was born in San Bernardino County.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that California?
Little town called Grand Terrace.
Joking.
Yeah. Grew up in Ventura. I have an older brother and a younger sister, so I'm the baloney in the middle.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, really average, super normal, white class, middle class. Just, I played soccer as a kid. Like, you don't get any more typical.
No.
And then at 13, my brother introduced me to drinking,
Wow.
pulled a whiskey bottle out of his closet. My brother was my best friend. I mean,
Yeah.
I was inseparable. I was like his shadow growing up. And that whiskey bottle probably had 3 or 4 shots at
Yeah.
the bottom. I just chugged the whole thing. I mean, alcoholic straight out the gate.
Wow.
Just
Nice.
First time drinking, just
Yeah.
drunk as a skunk running around the neighborhood. And I don't know if I even threw up. I think I threw up. I'm not really sure. One or the other, but passed out on my brother's floor. And in the morning, my mom comes in and says, "Oh, that's so cute. Shavon slept in Nicholas's room."
Oh, that is funny.
Just
Wow.
no idea.
No clue.
No clue.
Wow.
No clue. Completely clueless. And then my brother and I started smoking swag in the neighborhood or the orchard or wherever. And then he started selling drugs and I would go with him because I'd get smoked out for free and it was great. So 13, 14, definitely smoking a lot of marijuana, but alcohol was a lot harder to get. Just being 13, 14, hanging out with 16-year-olds, it was actually a lot harder. I mean, we had friends or go to parties or whatever, but alcohol wasn't as much of a part of my story in the beginning. It wasn't until I graduated high school and then went to college, then alcohol was everywhere and really easy to get a hold of. And when I was about 21, I realized I don't drink like everybody else. There's something different about the way I drink.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Me too. Not whiskey, though.
Yeah.
I could never drink whiskey. No.
Yeah, I drink more vodka because it mixes better with other things, but I would drink whatever
Yeah.
there was.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. I remember for a while I said, I don't drink gin until one day. That was the only thing on a rainy day
that's my thing.
to
Gin,
drink. And then
yeah.
I drank a whole bottle of gin. I was like, I guess I drink
Wow.
that too now.
So you're just an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're 21, going to college. How was that?
Or not
college?
even 21, huh?
At that
18,
time,
19?
when I started realizing I don't drink like regular people, I was about 21.
Mm.
I think I stopped drinking for maybe 3 weeks, a month. I
Mm.
mean, long enough just to feel better, because alcoholism is a cunning, baffling, powerful disease.
Yeah.
Once I started feeling better, I was like, I forgot all about why I stopped drinking. And so I went back to drinking, and it, of course, got worse. I'm a very high functioning drunk. So
Yeah.
I graduated college and moved down to Hermosa Beach
Nice.
with all the rest of the alcoholics
Wow.
down there who like to party and day drink and, Saturday morning mimosas and all day drinking and the night drinking. It's a real thing. So we did that. And then after a particular bender in Vegas for a weekend, came back and none of my friends wanted to talk to me. And I'd been a huge embarrassment and all a bunch of, terrible things. And so I didn't drink for about 3 months. And that was me white knuckling it. No idea what recovery looked like or how to get help or even that I needed help. I just was very simple in the thinking, well, that didn't go very well, so I just won't do that for a while. And I was finishing up grad school and I was waitressing and I was really just alone a lot. Go to the gym, go waitress, go to the class. Really wasn't fun. And then one day I came home and I think my roommate was having like a poker night with the guys. And he's like, hey, you want a beer? And I drank a beer. And the next thing I know, I'm a full-blown alcoholic, raging, blacking out, drinking every day. I'm like, how did that happen? Looking back, I say that at the time, I didn't know what was going on. And then in January of 2013, I went to a charity event of all things, and I had my friend drive so I could drink as much as I wanted, and came home and opened a bottle of wine after already being pretty drunk, and called my then boyfriend at the time, and blacked out. And the next morning I wake up and I've got text messages from him saying, don't call me if you're drunk. And I forget if we talked on the phone or not. I think I called him and he basically said, if you're going to drink like that, I don't want anything to do with you.
Wow.
So don't drink like that. And kind of hung up the phone. And in that moment, I had what I consider to be the largest epiphany from God, not an audible voice, but just a knowing of, hey, Shavon, you can either get help or you can lose everything that's important to you. Everything you've ever worked for, everything that you want, everything that you enjoy in your life is all going to go down the toilet. So at that point, I had graduated USC with 2 degrees in engineering.
Oh, good for you.
I worked full-time for a general contractor. I had a car and I had friends. They probably weren't the best quality friends, but I still had the things, I was still in good graces with my family. And it just became, I'd never gotten in trouble with the law or anything like that. And in that moment, I just knew I would probably get a DUI. I would probably go to jail or worse, maybe get assaulted. I mean, the list of things that could happen just sort of flashed before my eyes. And really the kicker was that boyfriend. I really wanted to be with him. I thought I was going to marry him. And I really didn't want to get dumped because that had definitely happened before after blacking out and doing stupid things. And I didn't want to get my heart broken again.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to be with him. So I picked myself up and I went to work. And at lunch that day, I just drove off to a parking lot of like a fast food place. And I called that boyfriend. I said, hey, I need help. I think I have a drinking problem. And turns out he was an angel in flesh. And he took me to my first AA meeting. He had 14 years sober through Narcotics Anonymous.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was 27. He was 34. So he got sober at 19.
Oh, wow.
He had been a meth addict, living on the streets, all kinds of things, kind of a much lower bottom than I experienced. But he'd been sober a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so about 2 weeks later, and I don't know why it took him 2 weeks to bring
He-
me to my
he-
first
he had
AA
never
meeting.
He had never told you he was sober?
No, we'd only been dating 5 weeks.
Oh,
I mean,
okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I used to tell people right off the bat,
yeah,
I'm sober.
yeah. No, and I didn't know what sobriety was. So even if he had told me, I don't think I would have understood.
Oh,
But he didn't. And so he took me to my first AA meeting, the Alano Club in Hermosa Beach, incredible place.
Yeah.
And that is the meeting that changed the whole rest of my life.
Wow.
So I've been sober since. It's been a little over 10 years.
Oh, good for you.
nice.
So
That's cool.
yeah,
Wow.
best thing that ever happened to me.
What's
My
the
life
boyfriend
has,
doing now? Do we know?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm on Ryan Seacrest. Right
Everybody asks that. I always just like leave a cliffhanger. Yeah, after that, so I got sober, and then about a year after that, I got transferred for work out to the desert in Victorville and lived out there.
Oh, Victorville.
Wow.
Yeah, and while I was there,
It's a rough place.
yeah, we built a prison.
Oh,
you
build
did?
prisons in nice places.
yeah.
Yeah. So when I was out there, at one point, we had just had a disagreement, and God just sort of removed the blinders from my eyes, and I was able to then see all of the issues in the relationship. He's a wonderful person, really great guy. We just weren't meant to be. We just weren't compatible on certain personality levels and other things, and so we did break up, and I haven't talked to him since. But really great guy.
Yeah. You took your first meeting. That's a lot.
Yeah.
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 Saved your life.
Saved your
He
life.
really did. And that first year, because we broke up, I think 13 months after I got sober, roughly. So that first 13
It's
months of
supportive.
sobriety, I had that support.
Yeah.
And it was so nice because from a social standpoint, prior to dating him, my whole social world
people.
revolved around drinking in the bars. But now it revolved around him, going to the gym, going to church, cooking, going to see a movie, getting frozen yogurt.
Nice.
Like normal stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff that normal people do.
That I wanted to do because it was with him, and all I wanted to do was spend time with him. So it was great. And we'd go to meetings. It was fun to go to, Friday night speaker meeting and that kind of thing. And that, it did really help. It did.
What's life like since you've gotten sober? How has it been?
It's been good. I mean, the first couple years we're just figuring out what it looks like to be sober and sort of reprogramming. But that relationship for that first year really helped. And then I found myself out in Victorville now with no boyfriend in a place that I was less familiar with, that had a lot less going on. Moving from, West LA, Hermosa Beach area out to Victorville was quite a difference of culture.
Yeah.
But I did the things that everyone had told me to do. I found a meeting. I found a little women's group on a Wednesday at the little Victorville. I forget what it was called, but it was like the Victorville AA club place. And I went there every Wednesday, and those women were great. And there was good recovery there. And I started volunteering. I got involved in H&I. I actually started volunteering at the juvenile hall out there and speaking to the girls that were incarcerated. I joined a little church out there. I went on a missions trip.
There's always something to do no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you really want it bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I started sponsoring women
Good for
out
you.
there. It was good. I got in really great shape because I went to the gym 4 days a week, and I was working full time. And, there were things. And I'd once a month or so come back to LA and visit friends or family usually, and whatever. And so life was good. And I started to actually apply myself at work. I started getting promoted. So after college, I started working for a general contractor, large general contractor. We build in the commercial sector, vertical. So hospitals, prisons, schools, government buildings,
stuff.
airports.
Yeah.
Yeah, big stuff. So I started applying myself at that job and started getting promoted, and things were good. And then eventually moved back to LA. Started getting more involved in church. Faith is a really big part of my journey.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. God became a lot more real once I was sober and actually looking for the truth and looking for, okay, well, what are my guiding principles? What are my values? What do I want? What is my purpose?
Yeah.
Why am I here? And where am I going to find my sense of, happiness? No, granted, I don't like the idea of chasing happiness. I think happiness, just like any other feeling, is an emotion that as humans we're meant to experience, but it's not this euphoric state of being that we're supposed to always be in.
It's impossible.
But happiness, or rather joy,
Joy.
is a byproduct of right living. So today I chase truth and right
I
living,
like that.
Yeah.
and the rest of my life just seems to go pretty darn well in
that's nice.
implementing the principles of this program. 12 Steps of AA, because that's the program that I live by,
Right.
has just helped clean up all the mess. And so today I don't have drama. I don't have things that I can't deal with or overcome or find a solution to or get help with. So in general, things are great. I don't have those high highs or low lows. And it's the
Right.
low lows that I couldn't deal with before.
Right.
And so things have leveled out. But as I've gotten deeper into sobriety and my journey and everything, things were chugging along at a great clip of like, okay, life is good. I'm working for corporate America. It's fun to be a superintendent. I drive a big yellow truck. I wear steel-toed boots and a hard hat, and I boss around grown men for a living. It's really fun. And we get to build things. And I've worked at LAX for the past 7 years and gotten to see all kinds of really interesting behind the scenes things. And then out of the blue one day, my pastor says, you need to come to dinner with the visiting pastor, Jacob. You need to have dinner. And I'm like, I'm busy. I need to do this and I have that and I'm busy. He's like, no, you really need to come to dinner. I'm like, fine, I'll make time for you guys. And then September 1st of 2021 is the day that really changed, I think, everything for the rest of my life. So I've been working on that for the past 19 months. I sit down with them, and Pastor Jacob is very prophetic. So like, think messenger from God. He hears from God really clearly and just tells people what he hears. And he says, I think you need to be interested in starting your own business. And I said, are you kidding? No, I have a great job in corporate America. It's been 11 and a half years. I've worked for this company for a long time. Like, I have this amazing future. I love it, blah, blah, blah. And he says, well, God is saying you should be interested in starting your own business, and it will be a for-profit company. It's not a nonprofit, and you'll have a lot of employees. And the only thing holding you back is fear. You don't have the audacity for this. You can't like stomach it, but God will be with you in it, and he'll provide what you need. I'm like, okay, well, what is it then? And he's like, I don't know. You have to figure that out. So I leave that dinner meeting and I'm driving down the street in my truck. I'm like, okay, God, what is this? And he just gives me this open vision, this download of a treatment center that would incorporate the 12 steps of AA, Christianity, and wellness. I'm like, oh, okay. And I start crying. And that's just not very normal for me. And so I knew it was from him and I knew it was real. And part of what Pastor Jacob said is just pray about it for 4 months, read Joseph, read Daniel, read Proverbs, and just pray about it for 4 months. And so I did. And ever since then, I've been chasing this idea and this dream. And what's really interesting is I'm 37 now. And when I was about 30 years old and I found out what treatment was and what treatment facilities were, I actually really wanted to start one. And then I looked up online what you need to start a treatment center, and you need a lot of money, and there's very high risk. There's a very high barrier to entry. And I stopped searching and I stopped looking and I just shut everything down and I just went back to my regular corporate America job. And so then what it was 5.5 years
She went
later.
back to her comfortable job.
Yeah.
Yep.
The comfort zone.
Comfort
the
and
comfort zone.
security.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. And so now for the past,
Story's not over.
yeah,
No.
since, because the prophetic word was given to me September of 2021, but I didn't really start putting the pieces together until about 2022. So for the past, 13 or 15 months, now I've really been diving into it. And now I'm at the point of no return and I've burned all the ships. And
Yeah.
Actually, my
burn
last-
all the
yeah,
ships.
all the
That's
ships have
fine.
been
Yeah, we
burned.
do
That's
that.
fine.
Yeah.
I burn them every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ships are burnt right
Of
now.
the smoke of fire. Smoke
Yeah.
of fire. Smell of fire. Yeah.
We're taking the island.
Yeah.
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 With this podcast, that's our the Hopeaholics. We're going after it.
It's good.
We burned all the ships.
Yeah.
I started a treatment center 22 years ago.
Amazing.
21 years ago.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's called Hope by the Sea.
That's here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're sitting in the building.
It's awesome.
This was back before insurance even was a thing.
Oh, wow.
It was a cash pay industry at the time.
Okay.
Not a lot of regulations for cash pay industries.
Yeah.
The internet was brand new.
Mm.
I was one of the first of 3 to advertise on the internet.
Wow.
And we started with a little 6-bed treatment center
Mm-hmm.
that today is grown into, the Hope by the Sea is 80 beds,
Wow.
all a full continuum of care, detox to sober living. We also started and then I bought Pillars Recovery in Newport Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started the Infinity Group because I found these amazing people when I bought Pillars, and I just wanted to grow and expand. God was calling me to grow and expand. And since then, Serene Behavioral Health is a mental health primary. Hope has a Christian track as well.
Yeah.
So I liked hearing that you have that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
More covertly Christian.
Covertly.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Well, I think honestly, I wouldn't have gone to Christian treatment. And I think in general, Christianity turns off a lot of people.
So it's so funny that you say that, because half of the people that are in our Christian track, they call looking for the Christian track because we market and advertise that. But we also get 10 times more calls on the traditional, 12-step based type track. And out of that, 50% end up going to the Christian track. So the Christian track's really full all the time.
Interesting.
So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
They come in hating God, but seeing the difference that God's making in these people's lives over here, and people start to migrate over there because they migrate towards the positive and the happiness and the joy and the freedom that comes with it.
Exactly.
So the Infinity Group was born, and it has spawned into 6 different treatment centers here in Southern California. Yeah.
That's amazing. So you've been around the block a couple times.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I got one more person I can call when I have questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm very old school. I've been around a long time. I was a young man when I started this, 27 years old.
Wow.
My dad and I started this program. My mom came on board. My sister came on board. My cousin worked here for a while. Yeah. And it's just grown, and
Family.
I think that if when you follow when you find your purpose and you really hear God, and the hardest thing about all of that though is having the faith that it's going to work out.
Yes, I have come to new levels of understanding of what faith means. So part of my journey, I created my own Discord server, because I have one for church that we use for all our communication. And then I built my own server. And one of the channels on there is the miracles of God. Because as I read in the Bible and the story of the Israelites, they are so quick to forget all of the incredible things that God does for them. And I'm like, I'm not going to be like the Israelites. I'm going to remember. But of course, I'm human, so I forget. So what do? I go and I write it down. And I can hardly keep up with how quickly God's doing everything and write it down fast enough. But it's really encouraging to go back and to look at all of the ways that he's shown up, and every time that I had a doubt or I had a need, and how he's been there and he's met it and he's shown up. And there's a big difference though. This is not me praying, hey, Santa Claus, Jesus, I really want you to give me these things. Please do this for me.
Right.
This is me being obedient and responding to his calling,
Right.
of his mission, of what he wants me to do. And there's a big difference, because
Huge
very
difference.
often I see people pray to Santa Claus, Jesus, about all the things that they want. And that's a very different prayer than, okay, God, you've called me to do this. How do I do it? And so I'm looking at Moses and Abraham and people like that in the Bible that have these incredible callings from God. And how do they operate?
Right. It's so amazing too, because when you do, you pray to the Santa Claus God for stuff that you want, you're missing out on the plan that God has, which is always way bigger,
way better,
way better.
Yeah.
Like amazing. I can't believe what has happened in my life, and I haven't always been perfectly following God. There's been times where I was like, hey God, I got myself here. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I took back over, and then things start falling apart, or I relapsed, or, bad stuff has happened.
Bad stuff.
Yeah.
Bad stuff.
Yeah. Usually relapse goes hand in hand
Yeah.
with bad stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I made it through and persevered, and it's part of my story, and hopefully my story can help other people who are struggling. I really liked the fact about your story that you didn't have to hit the bottoms that other people hit, because that's so important. Sometimes people think that you have to hit rock bottom, but what is rock bottom? Everybody's rock bottom is different.
It's when you put down the shovel, right?
Yeah.
Stop
digging.
I did a lot of stupid things when I was drinking. One of my favorite stories, this is why I know I'm an alcoholic. So went out to Stagecoach Country Music Festival because I love country music, and it's drinking all day long.
All day
and you
long.
get to wear cowboy boots
Yeah, I'm from
and
Canada.
cowboy hats.
Yeah, I'm Calgary Stampede all day long. You kidding me?
So much fun.
Sure.
So I had been the year before and was a drunk mess and regretted a lot of things. And so I thought, okay, this year is going to be different. You know what I'm going to do? This is genius. I'm going to buy 10 bracelets because bangles were really in where you wear all the bracelets. And every time I have a drink, I'm going to take a bracelet from left hand and put it on my right hand. And so when all the bracelets are on my right hand, then I have to stop drinking.
Oh, God.
And you put 10 on?
And I put 10 because 10 is a reasonable amount of drinks to have in a day.
Right.
In a day, I'm like, wow, I'm really limiting myself. So somewhere between drink 4, 5, and 6, I forgot which way the bangles were going.
That's hilarious.
And then I just kept drinking.
Yeah.
But those normies don't do that.
No.
No,
they really
They
don't.
don't have a plan.
They don't need one.
No, they don't.
They just stop when they're
Yeah, they just
when they
go home.
when they
Yeah.
realize, I probably shouldn't have another.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
button, that voice in my head that says, you're drunk, stop drinking. It's not installed. I
Yeah.
never get that sense. Mm-mm. It's like, oh, this feels good. More must feel better. That's the only
Yeah.
thing I hear.
Yeah. It's true.
No stop button.
No
I
stop.
do that with my protein powder.
What?
I do that with my protein powder. I put it in the one scoop. And,
2 scoops is better.
Yeah.
And then you get a stomach.
Yeah, then I get a little stomach ache. And I keep doing it, though. I just put 1.5, 1 3/4.
It's insanity.
Same with
Yeah.
the creatine. Is 1 scoop enough?
Yeah.
Yes. It's too
Yeah.
chalky.
The insanity. Yeah. I had to do the same thing over and over again, and I kept expecting different results.
Right.
I never got different results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also the opposite saying of that. If you want something you've never had, you need to do things you've never done.
Yeah.
Like that's the opposite of insanity, right? Because the insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do something different.
You have to.
Yeah. Well, that's why I burned the ships.
Yeah.
Quit my job. And
You just quit your job.
I just quit my job. Yeah. It's been a long time coming. I mean, it's been ever since September 1st of 2021 that I've been thinking about it and then moving towards putting the plan in place and getting everything ready. But this past week was my last week, and then I'm going in on Wednesday. I have to give back my truck. Got to give them my computer, my badge, and do an exit interview, and that's
Wow.
it. And so I've been with them for 13 years, and they've provided everything. So now
Yeah.
I signed up for healthcare. First time getting my own healthcare. I went from mommy and daddy's plan to now I have my own healthcare. I guess I'm at 37. I'm now a real adult, and I have to buy my own vehicle. So after this, I go to a car dealership to go look at a truck, and then I have to call a cell phone provider and get my own cell
Right.
phone.
God. When are you opening doors?
May 1st,
Well, April, May, another couple months.
1 month,
1 month.
less than 1 month,
6 beds?
6. Yeah.
Wow.
Detox and res,
Wow.
no outpatient.
You got your license and everything?
We have our state inspection on the 18th.
Oh, good for you.
So if all goes well, we'll be licensed on the 1st.
It will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, yes, I have been decorating and hanging art on the walls and figuring out which bath mats I like the best and getting all the dishes. And it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm trying to make it feel as much like home and as least like an institution as possible.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I've been getting like antiques and just fun stuff.
And where is it?
It's in Palos Verdes,
Palos
California.
Verdes.
Yeah.
Very
Gorgeous view of the ocean. The living room, I have to like peel people away from the windows.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. The view is incredible.
Yeah, we'll have to come up and.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
like,
Are
I'm
you
doing,
having like an open house?
I'm doing an open house. Yes. Saturday the 15th, 2 p.m. and Tuesday the 18th at 5 p.m.
Awesome.
So if you want to come on up. It's like an hour from here.
Yeah.
About.
Not far.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'd love to have you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see if we can. Definitely. I can definitely. If I can't go personally, I can
You
send.
send a minion.
Yeah.
Great.
Andrew.
Okay.
We love Andrew.
Yeah.
Good.
He does
Yeah.
all my
Yeah.
business development
Outreach.
stuff.
Perfect.
We're not like huge on business development because we get most of our clients from the internet and the fact that we've
Interesting.
been around a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Phone calls.
You take a
and
lot of veterans here?
veterans. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All veterans or
Any kind?
Not all veterans.
no, I mean,
We're-
is everyone that comes here a veteran?
no.
General public, just a
Yeah.
lot of veterans as well.
Yeah, we have a contract with the VA at 2 of the facilities. So
Okay.
One of the facilities is all veterans, but it's primary mental health only.
Got it.
So that one's all veterans, and then the other one that we mix them. I think they do really well, especially substance abuse.
Yeah.
Mixing them with the general population.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we are a first responder and veteran program exclusively.
Oh,
we
nice.
don't take general population.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, now granted, with first responders, of course, that's EMTs, that's dispatchers, et cetera. And
Yeah.
if I had like a CEA or a DEA or someone like that want to come through, we would take them as
What's
well.
the name of the place?
Throttle and Thrive.
Throttle and Thrive. And what's your name on Instagram? Do you want people
Throttle
to
and Thrive.
Throttle.
Instagram.
Is there how do people
I'm
get a
not-
hold of you if they want to say hi or ask you advice or something like that?
Yeah. We have a website,
Okay.
throttleandthrive.com.
Okay.
We've got all our contact info on there. They
Okay,
can
nice.
call me 805-701-1309. If I don't pick up, text me.
Nice.
Because with me getting healthcare today, I'm getting blown up by all of the providers.
Right.
I've got like
That's not going to stop.
30 calls. I'm like,
That's going to go
oh
on for the next
no.
month. They're going to keep calling you.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm worried about that.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. Yeah, it's been bad. It's been 30 calls in one
Yeah.
day. It's rough. So please text me so that I can get back to you. You can email us at info@throttleandthrive.com.
Nice, good for you.
So we're on Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you search on Google.
Do you have a
Throttle and
contract with the
Thrive.
VA yet?
I don't. Not yet.
Okay, so you just Oda Network contracts
We
or
haven't.
private pay.
No, we'll be taking health insurance.
Yeah.
So working on getting all of that set
Yeah.
up. So I've been networking with a lot of first responder agencies,
Nice.
sheriff's department, police
Yeah.
department, fire department.
Yeah. You can
And,
get contracts with them.
Yeah.
We have one with the LAPD
Okay.
at Hope by the Sea.
Awesome.
So it's nice.
Yeah. Just going through their peer support and making relationships with them and inviting them all to come take a tour. And, if they think that we would offer a great service to their guys, then I'm like, our doors are open
Yeah.
May 1st. So
That's exciting.
it's so exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I mean, the miracles and the blessings that I've experienced thus far are just mind boggling. And we haven't even administered care to anyone. So I
Right.
can't wait to see what happens when we actually have real people in
So-
treatment.
Yeah. So I remember the first year that we were open.
Mhm.
Like I can remember almost every single client.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of our policies and procedures end up getting written because of rules that they break that we didn't realize they would break.
Oh, yeah. What are some good rules and policies they should have in place?
Oh boy. That's a loaded question.
That is a
Mhm.
loaded question. Not
Yeah.
really your department either. I
Not
mean, you
anymore.
got people for that.
Yeah, not anymore.
Yeah, he's got people for that. He does.
I was in the beginning though. I was
Yeah.
very, I'm still pretty hands on. And one of the things that I like what you were saying is that we don't really want a clinical feel either, because we always started as a family run business.
Yeah.
And I try to keep that across the board, have a family feel. So if we have a family feel up here at the top, it spreads down. Although, we have a corporate structure, but it's not, nothing feels corporate about our company. I don't think so.
That's great.
Yeah.
How's your brother doing?
Not well.
What's going on with him?
He went to treatment. We did a family intervention in February of 2022 after his girlfriend, he didn't flush the toilet, and his girlfriend took a urine sample and it came up positive for fentanyl and everything else.
Oh,
So my mother, who is so scared that she's going to bury her son, paid a lot of money to hire a interventionalist. And that amazing man actually got my brother to go to treatment. Although looking back, I think actually my brother manipulated the situation because he made my mom basically pay him to go to treatment. She was paying his mortgage while he was in treatment, but he was on disability from work. So he was still getting his paycheck. So he really took advantage of my mom, it's just so sad to see. He ended up going through detox and then getting kicked out of treatment like a week later. I think 17 days total detox and res, and he spent a good week in detox. So 10 days of treatment, got kicked out for something that I thought was didn't make sense. He apparently made a threat towards his girlfriend while in treatment, and they kicked him out. I'm like, wait, if you were really concerned about her safety, then why would you send him back to her before he completed treatment? It just didn't make sense. But I know my brother pretty well, and I know he's very difficult. And they were probably really sick of dealing with someone that didn't want to be there, that was clearly not going to embrace recovery.
So he's still out there now using?
Oh, no, he's using.
Oh, he's using.
He's using.
Married, not married?
He is divorced and he lives with his girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah. And then I had tried to explain to my parents and my sister how recovery works and what enabling looks like and what boundaries look like. And they had agreed to the boundaries at first. And then they went back on their boundaries and they started allowing him to come home for holidays and things. And so I held my ground and held to my boundaries, because the only thing I can do is uphold my boundaries.
Now you're the outsider.
Yeah. So I didn't go home for Christmas or Thanksgiving last year because he did.
Yeah.
And then in, what was it, February, we get another call from his girlfriend. Hey, I found a bag of crushed up pills. What do I do? And then my mom calls me. What do I do? I'm like, well, do you want to uphold your boundaries now? You're being mean to me. His life's on the line. Do you want to uphold your boundaries now?
Especially with the fentanyl.
Right.
Especially.
It's like playing Russian roulette.
Yeah,
Exactly. This is not a game. It's very serious. And they're all normies and they don't really understand. And my parents are wonderful people and they're incredible parents and they want to save their son, but they don't have the tools. And
Is he functioning? Like going and working, holding a job, paying his mortgage, doing all of those things?
For the most part, he quit his job to be an entrepreneur recently.
His girlfriend must be getting high as well.
No, she's a
Really?
codependent. Yeah.
She working?
Yes.
Paying some of the bills?
And yeah, she pays half the bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
It's rough.
yeah,
she could get him
sad
back
to
into treatment.
see.
You just can't. The one thing we always tell families is just don't give up.
Yeah.
You can't give up. You can't
Yeah.
just be like, no, that's enough. Does he have health insurance?
Not anymore.
No.
Mm-mm. Nope. He runs his own business now. So we'll see. I just think he has to probably hit a really hard bottom.
Right.
So we'll see. Continue to pray for him. And if he really
What's
wants
his name? Oh, never mind.
let's not say his name.
I was
but
going to say, because when we pray, I use the person's name.
yeah, I'll tell you later.
Yeah, tell me later.
Off air.
Yeah.
There.
Try not to mention any names, but I just continue to pray for him, and he knows I'm sober. He knows what I'm doing. And if he really wants recovery, I'm there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I would
he
do
knows.
anything to help him, but I will not enable him to use, because I know that if he does die, that I know that both my parents will go very quickly. They'll die of a broken heart.
Yeah.
So it's a
That's
high stakes game. It's really sad, but I'm doing everything I can to help people. And that's what I'm really excited about, is to even take those difficult cases, because I hope that a lot of people that come into treatment will really want recovery. I really hope so. But for those difficult cases, I really hope that I can reach them as well, change their mind.
Yeah, I've actually found that some of the more difficult clients becomes some of the most successful clients.
Yeah.
You know, there's almost like that opposite. Like they were very difficult in the beginning, and you're thinking in your mind. And in the beginning, trust me, I used to think, oh man, this person's never gonna make it.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I'm getting at this point, I'm getting like, Facebook alumni messages that, oh, thank you, I have 14 years
Right.
clean and sober. You know?
So that's what I'm doing. Even if I can't reach my brother, at least I can do a lot of good and help a lot of people. And what we're seeing in the first responder community, which breaks my heart, is they're committing suicide.
Alarming rates.
And it's not okay. And we have to do something about it. And I am so excited to be able to administer really great care and help them and turn it around and break down those lies and get them to see the truth and to get them cleared up mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And this whole program is designed around that. We are primary substance abuse, but a very close second is the mental health, with an emphasis on trauma and suicide.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a veteran. I was talking to a veteran, saw combat, and he told me that his time on the police force was way more gruesome than his combat in terms of visual,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. So good for you for picking a tough demographic that needs help desperately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is what I'm built for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And what's after that? So that's next. What's going on? Like, what else is in your life?
Probably more treatment centers. I don't think I'll stop at just one little 6-bed. I think we will replicate the same procedure. I mean, once the systems and the process are in place and we know that it's working, I want to reach more people. So we'll start to replicate and build more of them, keeping the same quality. And then after that, I think I'm probably called to politics.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, we like politics.
I kind of hate politics, but there's a lot of things going on in the world that are not okay. And I want to stand up to those and start to change policy.
Right.
Yeah, change the laws.
I mean, we're doing that through, this is a platform that we're going to build to where like politicians have to listen. You know how many addicts and alcoholics there are
A lot.
out there?
Yeah.
A ton.
Mm-hmm.
Enough to say, hey guys, something needs to change here.
Yep.
You know, I have a specific agenda, but you know, who knows? Who knows what God has in store for me? I just keep doing his work and
Amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it the most incredible adventure ever?
Yeah.
Like, okay, God, what are we doing today?
Yeah.
What miracle do I get to see
Yeah.
today?
Just add God. That's my thing. That's my new little slogan.
I
Just
like
add
it.
God. Just add God.
Yeah.
What's you got a problem?
Well,
Just add God, bro.
What's funny is I
Yeah.
read a lot of, you know, motivational books or self-help type books. And I listen to a lot of positive motivating, like YouTube videos when I'm at the gym. I don't do like music really anymore. What I find to be consistent in almost all the books, though, is they do all these teachings, but they forget one piece. Either they're leaving it out on purpose, or I don't know what the
What is
or
it?
is. It's God.
God.
Yeah.
People are scared.
All of the books.
Yeah, people are scared.
They don't put the real formula in there. And the real formula, you can do all of those things,
Yeah.
but if you don't have God,
Yeah.
those things don't work.
They don't.
I mean, you could have the devil
Mhm.
and they'll work as well, but they're going to work for destruction, not for,
Yeah.
you know, the greater purpose.
Mhm.
You can see it happening in the world right now. It's so divided. You've got people really truly working on the greater good and the greater purpose, and you've got a whole slew of
Yeah.
people taking God out of everything.
Yes.
And you see it's a disaster on that
Yeah.
side.
Disaster.
That's not even an opinion, it's a fact. Just look at it.
Yep.
Not to get into any politics.
We're already there, bro.
Yeah.
We're already there.
But like, you know, recovery is good.
Yeah.
It is. Saves
Yeah.
people's lives.
Yeah.
I mean, bottom line, saves their life and the families.
Neighborhoods.
And that's a big thing that's really important to me. And one of the things I keep saying is I want to give little girls their daddy back
Yeah.
because we're a men's facility. And so growing up, I was really close with my dad. He was my soccer coach and my sandcastle builder and my bicycle riding instructor and, you know, just a really good family man. And that gives me a lot of sense of strength and purpose and identity in who I am as a woman today. And I think that men are fundamental in their children's lives, absolutely fundamental. And the role of the father
It's huge.
it's so important.
Yeah,
And it has lost some of its emphasis today. And so I want to bring that back. But in that, our treatment center, we're working on restoring families.
Yeah.
And I want to give children their dads back.
Yeah.
Well, divorce rate is so high.
That too.
You know?
Yeah. Which is so traumatizing for children.
So traumatizing.
Not only for the children, but it's really traumatic for the people that get divorced.
Yeah.
I've read some statistics that divorce is actually more traumatic than death of a child.
Really?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Which is,
The pain of the heart. I mean, it's just, it doesn't, man, it's tough.
so helping people before they get to that point, helping people stay together, helping people maybe just get out of their own way a little bit more. So
Well, he has all women's facility up in Lake Arrowhead.
Yeah.
Howard Lodge, Hope Lodge.
Hope Lodge.
Hope Lodge.
Formerly known as Howard Lodge.
Yeah, all women.
okay.
So yeah, if you get
That's
calls
awesome.
for women,
Yeah.
and then,
Oh yeah. I'm looking for great treatment centers to be able to recommend to, whether it's women or just the general civilian population, et cetera.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one day I want to start a women's facility.
Yeah.
I really do.
It's so amazing because I like what you're saying because you change this one person's life. Everybody that comes in contact with that person
Yes.
forever.
Also is impacted in some way.
Yep.
Yep. I see that in my own life. I mean, I see the influence that I used to be when I was out drinking and partying, and I'm kind of like a community builder. You know, I love to host parties and things like that. And so when I was drinking, you know, I'd get people together and we go out and drink, and just what a disaster. And now I put things together like, you know, volleyball beach days for 4th of July, where we're just playing like constant games of volleyball or
good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff. So
Stuff that ends at 6 o'clock. You know, 8
Nothing
o'clock.
good happens after 8, right?
Nothing. At 7:20, I make my way home all the time.
Never out after 8 o'clock.
I'm an early bird. I like to be to bed early. I love to get up early.
What time you get up at?
4.
Really? Oh, you're an hour late.
What?
For this guy.
I get up at 3.
Yeah.
That's early because you're a morning gym guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more afternoon gym person.
Really?
Yeah.
Testosterone's in the morning. So
I have to get up because I normally get up at 4. That's my normal time. But I started running. And I'm running for like 40 minutes, so
Nice.
I need an extra hour.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been good. My alarm clock was like 3:30 now. Even like my internal alarm clock is like 3:30 right now. This weekend, on the weekends I don't set my alarm.
Yeah.
I was up at like 3:30.
really? Yeah, me too.
Irritated too because I was like, can I just
sleep more?
please like sleep till like 5?
I just work for a little bit, then I have a little nap on the couch, maybe at 8 o'clock. Not a, you know.
Yeah. I haven't been able to nap in like a couple months.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping to yesterday before because we also play basketball, and I was hoping to take a nap before my basketball game, but that just didn't happen.
Too excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So what's your daily schedule? Like, what are you doing to keep yourself sane? So you get up at 4.
I get up at 4, you know, brush my teeth,
'Cause life's
wash my
crazy.
face, stretch in the morning, and then I try to pray for about an hour.
Oh, that long?
Pray and read the
Wow.
Bible.
Good for you.
Yeah. That's really what keeps me
Wow.
sane because
Yeah.
everything around me is constantly changing. In December, I was living in Mar Vista, so near Venice Beach in kind of ish West LA. And then in January, I moved into the treatment center. And then in March, I moved out of the treatment center into my permanent residence, which was 4 minutes down the street.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So I've moved twice.
Yeah.
And everything is just constantly in flux. I've been working the night shift at LAX 4 nights a week. And then I was able to scale it down to 2 nights a week as I had a sort of transition plan out of my employment, out of that corporate career into now being an entrepreneur full time. So now this week is the first week that I don't have to work night shift a couple nights a week, which is great. But now this week is getting the cell phone and getting the car and, you know, getting the healthcare and all of those sorts of things. So it feels like every week is a little bit different, but I'm really excited for things to kind of smooth out and be a little bit more consistent and more structured. But in general, get up at 4, pray, get dressed, and then I go over to the treatment center. So I go to work at my other house and I usually cook breakfast over there because I haven't even moved food into my refrigerator at my actual residence where I live. I have a roommate and then another roommate living in, 2 of my really good friends. So excited to live with them, but I've just kind of kept my food at the treatment center because I'm there all day anyway. So I go over and I cook breakfast and I make some coffee and then I go downstairs to my office and I get to work. And I work all day, and some of the days I try to make it to the gym, and other days I have to go to various appointments or things, or go meet people, or I have people over. Tomorrow's the first day that we're doing interviews, so I'm interviewing a group of techs, rad Ts, and KDACs.
Nice.
Yeah. So this month is all about hiring.
Yeah.
It's, you know, finishing touches on the treatment center. We're getting professional photos done on Friday, so I need to finish hanging all the artwork on the walls and putting all the decor in its right place. And then it's really hiring.
Yeah.
Hiring and, you know, dialing in all of our processes and procedures and everything like that.
Yeah.
And just
exciting getting the first client in.
Because I've been.
How do you feel getting your first client in? How was it?
It took 17 days from when we opened our doors.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So
nerve-wracking.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. We incorporated on October 15th of 2002. And it took us until right before April to be fully licensed and ready to go. On April 1st, we opened our doors. 17 days went by.
God.
before we got her. Well, the phones were ringing.
Oh, they were.
Yeah, they were ringing.
Were you turning people down?
No. We were just so brand new, and it was cash pay, and
Yeah.
So, and we got
That's a
our
whole
first,
different animal.
Yeah, we got her. But here's the amazing part. It took 17 days, right? So that's a lot of faith and trust in God. Like God, you're starting to run out of money and all of this stuff, and we got our first client, and the floodgates kind of opened up. By the time we were 3 months into it, we had opened up 2 more homes.
Wow.
And had like 32 clients.
Wow.
You see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fast.
Isn't that incredible?
That's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's life, though. Hold on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Every
Add
day
God.
I'm just like,
Hold on and add God.
What is today? But even the story of how I acquired the treatment center. So it's a rental. I don't own it. It's this amazing mansion. I was looking at, well, it's a long story, but I was looking at treatment centers and looking at how I would enter the industry. And at one point I thought that I might buy a treatment center and just take over an existing license. And then I was looking at trying to buy a house, but I didn't really have enough capital to buy a house that was large enough in, an area that was the right place. And then one day my roommate, one of my best friends, says, well, what if money weren't an issue? Where would you start the treatment center? And it was a no-brainer. It was Palos Verdes. Of course it's Palos Verdes.
Yeah.
Duh. We go to church down there, and I love that area. It's gorgeous. The ocean, the homes are large enough. They're spread out. You get like a sizable lot. And then I found out I can rent. You can rent, like a treatment center can be run out of a rental. Yeah. And that's when that light bulb went on, it was off to the races.
Yeah. That's how we did it.
And about a month later, I was signing the rental agreement for the place that's actually the treatment center. And the address, 1549 Via Leon. Well, Leon means lion, and lions are all over my website, and that's a common symbol for God. And I was like, oh, cool. We're like on God Street. And then 2 days after I signed the rental agreement for the lease, I had an employee at the time, and I needed to pay him. And the bank was going to take too long to mail a check, and he didn't know his Venmo login. I'm like, okay, well, how about PayPal? And so we go to PayPal, and I have to look at my handle to be able to connect with him. And I look at my handle, Shavon Thompson 1549, the exact address of the treatment center.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
And in that moment, God goes, I predestined this treatment center for you. I'm so glad you found it. This is for you. I assigned it to you. Just like that number is assigned to your handle. Yeah. This was assigned to you, which was amazing, because then after moving in, there were several just cosmetic little things wrong with the house, like having to redo paint and a couple other things. And so every time a new little thing we'd find out about, I was like, okay, no, we're supposed to be here. And even the landlord, that property was supposed to rent for a lot more. And for whatever reason, no one rented it, and he kept dropping the rent. And so I got it at like 67% of what it should go for on the market. So huge discount.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, he really needed a tenant and wanted to rent it out, and he didn't really make me like qualify for it. I showed him my savings account, yay, which is all going to fund the business.
Yeah.
I don't qualify to rent that house.
Right.
My construction job does not qualify for that kind of rent, not even close.
Right.
So I just continually thank God for the way that he's providing and blessing me, and how he's showing up, and how evident it is.
Good for you. See, we had to wait for the good stuff to the end. She waited. She teased us.
Yeah. We got to
it gets even better.
Because I got to use the restroom real quick. Just a quick break.
Yeah, go. This is the first time. All right.
Okay.
We're not going to talk. We're going to sit here in silence.
More silence.
No, we can't talk, Rob. We're going to save it for the good stuff.
Yeah.
If there's any reels or rolls or whatever, you could do it. Wow. So your handle, what was the handle, email handle?
It was my PayPal handle, Shavon Thompson 1549.
That they give you automatically.
I got that in 2012.
Wow. And then the address,
11 years ago.
The address is 1549
Via Leon.
Wow,
the cool. Statistical odds of that are something like 1 in a billion.
Yeah, it's next to nothing.
Because addresses, they don't have to be 4 digits.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's not like a common number.
Yeah, these are signs. These are all signs. Yeah.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a big one. That helped, because I I put down like $40,000 to move
That's
into
scary.
that place.
I know.
I've never spent that much on anything ever in my whole life. I was like, oh, okay, God, I trust you. I trust you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's 6 beds and we'll help.
Thanks.
Yeah. When he
Thanks.
comes back, we'll
you'll
make sure.
send you'll send me some clients.
Well, we'll make sure I'll make sure we mention something that,
Oh, thank you.
we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's plenty of people out there that need help.
Yeah.
Plus, it's all legwork. If you make 100 calls a day, you'll be full.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have a guy that works for me. He's my outreach coordinator, and his whole job is just contact all of the agencies, police, fire,
Yeah,
sheriffs, etc.
That's it.
And so all day, every day, that's his job.
Do not contact other treatment centers.
Oh.
There's no point.
Sometimes though, because we're a first responder program,
No,
some places
not really.
really?
No, not the percentage. Your time will be better spent calling hospitals
Mm.
and first responder units directly.
Okay.
Forget the middle person.
Yeah. Because most first responders, they have a wellness program,
Yes.
and they're actually excited to meet us.
Yeah.
So I've actually sat down via Zoom and some in person with
Yeah.
a lot of different wellness
Right.
coordinators and peer support, and
Yeah.
they're all about it. I call them the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
They're the
yeah,
people.
They will. You will do well. On 6 beds, you'll be filled.
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah,
exciting.
it's no
I've
joke.
hired the chef.
Oh,
Of all
yeah.
people, I've hired the chef. He's incredible.
Wow.
He's in recovery. Really awesome guy.
Wow.
Friend of a friend of a
Yeah.
friend, basically. Some of
Yeah.
my friends, when I said I was starting a treatment center, said, oh, hey, you need
This
to get
guy.
in touch with Cindy. And he's married to Cindy. So Cindy is our wellness director.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's a health and nutrition
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, I've never been up to Palos Verdes.
Oh, you got to
Yeah.
come. Then you
I
got
stay
to
in my
come in
little Orange
person.
County bubble.
You'll have to leave the
I will,
bubble.
yeah.
It's not like normal LA.
No.
We have 180-degree views of the ocean.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
really?
Oh, that's really nice.
It's really nice.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
That's all God.
It's all
I
God.
didn't do a whole lot. I
No.
just showed up.
No,
Yeah.
especially with the address and your handle. I mean, you can't deny. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's stuff like that.
Oh, that's like 1 in a billion coincidence.
Yeah, 1 in a billion coincidence.
Okay. I don't really believe in coincidence.
Well, and a lady I used to like, her name. I'm not going to say her name, but she used to say, "Is it odd or is it God?"
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's usually God.
that's usually God. Just
Yeah.
add God.
I think I knew. Well, I knew there were so many points at which I knew that I knew that I knew
Yeah.
that that's what's happening.
But to take the plunge,
Oh, yes.
that's tough.
And it was many little iterations of open the door. I mean,
Yeah.
even just when this was probably back in, I don't know, October of 2021, when I just started talking about with my circle of friends, hey, I think I'm going to open a treatment center. One of them, my friend Kyle, says, oh, you need to talk to my friend, blah, blah, blah. Like, he owns treatment centers down in Orange County. I'm like, really? You know someone in the industry? So I talked to his friend, and he was so nice and so helpful and told me all these different things. And then a couple weeks later, I was talking to my friend Juliana, and I'm like, I think I'm going to open a treatment center. She's like, oh, you need to talk to my friend so-and-so. And so I talked to him, and he owns treatment centers, and he's
Yeah.
now my mentor. And it's just incredible how many doors have opened. But
Yeah.
the one beyond the address thing, that's still amazing. But the one that really got me is it's like a longer story with a lot of back history, but just to make it a little shorter, my pastor and his wife had been on a trip to Israel, and there was a woman on the trip that was connected to a different group, and she and her husband do very well. They're Canadian living in California, and they had flown. Oh yeah, you're Canadian. They had flown down.
and Jewish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You got connections.
Yeah, he is the connection.
Yeah. So my pastor's wife, after the Israel trip, says, hey, there's this woman, Kate, and she might be the right person to invest in your company,
Yeah.
because I hadn't saved enough money to do it all on my own. I needed capital investment, and I didn't want to give away equity. I don't want shareholders. So I really just wanted like private business loan, like a silent type of investor with no actual equity. And sort of like a charity case.
Yeah.
I want to be the charity
Yeah.
case. I just want to borrow your money and I'll give it back to you, I promise, maybe with some interest. And so then like a month later, the investor and her husband fly down in their private jet to our little church conference, and I get to meet her. And I knew that there was this potential opportunity. And so I talked to her and I told her all about my business. I told her about the financial need, but there was never any like direct, like, hey, I think you might be interested in investing. But we just kind of kept in touch, and I got to tell her about, you know, different things that God was doing. And then in February, I get a call from her, and she says, it's undeniable, and I can't keep it like a secret anymore, but God has now made it so evidently clear that I am supposed to invest in your company. And actually, I'm supposed to invest in 5 Christian women who are launching businesses and get them from not launched to launched. Wow. And you're the first one. And she said, I've never done this before, so I have to figure out all of the ins and outs of like how it works and, you know, how we go about this and all of that. But I want to invest in your company, and it'll just be a simple interest business loan. I'll just give you the money and you could pay it back at some point. And I about fell out of my chair.
That's cool.
Yeah. So.
I like this story because I like where it's going, because this is, people need to hear this, that, you know, the amazing things that happen in your life when you're doing all the right things and on the right path, and God's involved. Yeah.
It's just following God and praying, a lot of praying, and a lot. Actually, the first really thing that I did is I had to rebuke fear. And it was about 16 to 18 months until the fear stopped messing with me. I mean, I remember there were days, because I would walk from our parking lot east of Terminal 1 all the way down LAX all the way to Terminal 3. And it's really loud with the announcements going and everything. And so sometimes it would be like out loud. I would be rebuking fear out in public. Probably look like one of the crazy people. But I spent literally 16 to 18 months every day. Fear is not going to take my dream. Fear is not going to rob this from me. And I will not make agreements with fear, and I will not give in to fear. And I will continue, no matter how scared or afraid or risky or stupid this looks to the normal, rational, normal person. I'm like, I am going to step into what God has for me, no matter what the cost and no matter what the risk. And there came a point at which I would rather risk and fail than live with regret. And I just couldn't live with the regret of not doing this.
What's that one that one guy says about the price of regret?
Yeah. Yeah, I forget.
Oh, man, I just saw it this morning.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
The price
No
of
regret.
The price of regret is like...
That's high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
You live with that forever.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
At least failure, you're getting back up again and trying something else.
I don't even really think that... I don't like to use the word failure. I like a saying. I think Denzel Washington says it in some speech that he did. But if you're gonna fall forward. Yeah. You know, because if you're falling forward, you're going up the mountain. You know, because you're pushing. Yeah. And then you just get back up and
like,
just
and what's
keep
the
trying.
worst that happens to me? I fail. Okay, I lost all the money I ever saved in my life. Whoops.
No.
And then I go back and I get a different job. I mean,
nope, can't do that. You burned the ships already. You can't fail.
there is no plan B.
There's no plan B.
Although sometimes I joke with people, I'll just get ready to do a really nice rich man.
There's always that.
There's always that.
There's always that.
That plan hasn't worked out so far. I'm 37 now.
God help us, right? It's tough.
That's my joke. It's my joke when but there's no plan B. Really, there's no plan B. There's singularity of focus, and there's just what's the next step. Yeah. And how do we move forward?
Well, then Andrew's going to show up Saturday. Yeah. Hopefully, if not this Saturday, one Saturday.
No, what's the dates are? Let's look.
And he's business development, and we have overflow sometimes, so we'll help. He'll help and guide, and we'll, you know.
It's
what's the one that's not Saturday?
Tuesday, the 18th.
Tuesday
at 5 p.m.
Of May.
April
the 15th, 18th.
Both.
It's my brother's birthday, April 15th.
Nice. Yeah, that's Saturday. Yeah. We're doing it 2 p.m. open house that day.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. on the 15th and 5 p.m. on the 18th. That's a Tuesday.
What's the name of it again?
Throttle and Thrive. It's kind of nice because when you Google us, we come up first on Google. Because if you Google anything and the name has like recovery or
there's always ads or something before.
you always get the paid ads
Yeah.
because the treatment industry is such an industry that you get all
It's
of
gonna
those other
happen.
people
Someone's
that
going to be stealing your name when you get successful. They're going to put your name in their ad.
Yeah, they do that to us all the time. If
Yeah.
somebody's in, because somebody will be looking for Hope by the Sea. They'll literally type in Hope by the Sea.
Yeah.
And somebody's using that as a keyword.
Come to our place and
Term.
you'll have Hope by the Sea.
Oh,
Yeah. And they'll be like, call us.
wow.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't worry too much about that stuff because I do believe that that when you do the wrong thing, that karma comes back and gets you. And that if I just continue doing the right thing, see, if I continue to do the right things, my bills are always paid. They're always paid. Isn't that amazing? And that's like the most important thing to me, right? That my bills are paid. And that I get to continue doing this and get to continue helping people. And I've been doing that personally, I've been working in the industry for 22 years.
Wow.
Started at the very, very bottom. My first job at 5 years old.
Yeah.
25, 26. I was driving a van for a treatment center that I went through.
No hard hat, though.
No hard hat. And then I worked my way through that company, and at like 18 months clean and sober, I was running the place.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And it was a little rough. Things were a little bit different back then, and it wasn't doing well. And then I went to my dad and I was like, hey, let's put together a little 6-bed. I just want something small, just a little 6-bed treatment center, just something that's my own that I can do. That's like ethical and, doing it for the right reason. And here we are 22 years later.
Here we are.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Like, I can't wait to have you back on the podcast next year.
Yeah.
Or in 6 months.
Right.
See where you're at.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Let's see where our podcast is at.
Yeah.
Oh, we're at 1 million viewers.
By
2 million.
next year.
Oh, guaranteed.
Don't tell me 6 months because that.
I'm thinking. I think.
In 6 months. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. 6 months. I told her already, but we can't. We don't have 4 years.
We don't have time.
Yeah.
Time's wasting.
Yeah.
Yep.
2024 election's coming up.
Yeah.
Or it's right around the corner. I got to have a lot of followers by then.
Good.
I
hope that you do.
We will.
Yeah, we will.
I mean, this is a really great story, and I hope that it's really inspiring to people out there because, like, so many people are afraid to go after their dreams.
It's scary. I mean, I had to literally rebuke fear constantly, verbally, and just be so determined that fear was not going to be the one writing my story.
Right.
And not that she's average. Her story, not that it's an average story, but it's a story that a lot of the society can relate with.
Well, the problem is our colleges and universities teach you to be an employee, not an employer.
They really do.
Yeah.
And the freedom is really in entrepreneurship.
It is.
Right.
And small business. I mean, that's really the heartbeat of America, and small businesses do so much good for so many people.
Yep.
Yeah, but good for you for getting 2 degrees from USC.
Thanks.
Go Trojans.
Yeah. Fight on.
Right?
Yeah.
We got a couple USC grads here.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
And granted, corporate America taught me a lot. I mean, I really learned how to run a business.
Yeah.
Because, that corporate construction company,
Yeah.
they're at $9 billion in annual revenue. I mean, they're not some
if
little.
you're working on LAX, you're not a small company.
Yeah, they're an incredible, very large company, and I learned everything that I needed to know. And it's interesting, even before I received this, vision of the treatment center, I knew that I was in boot camp. I had known for a long time that I was in boot camp and I was getting trained. I just didn't know for what, but I knew that I was in training. I did. And I didn't know what it was or what I would be doing or what the timeline was or any of how it would look. But I knew that I was in training and learning how to run a business, learning how to train field engineers, learning how to fire, learning how to hire, learning how to do payroll and accounting and cost management and risk management and safety and run a team and lead a team and manage other contractors. Everything I learned is everything that I needed to know to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So God's just provided.
Yeah, good for
Everything's just
you.
like, it's been really incredible. So it hasn't been much of a struggle, which has been incredible. The biggest struggle is time. It's hard to find enough time to just do everything that I want to do and need to do, and have enough time to just get all the to-dos done. So.
Well, welcome to the world of opening a business that never closes.
Yeah, that too, 24/7. I'm like, Mom, we're going to need Christmas decorations. She's like, oh, great. I love Christmas. I'll start shopping now.
Yeah.
Like, love you, Mom.
The crisis never happens between 9 and 5 either.
No. Well, that's why when God opened up the door for me to get the other property, it's less than 4 minutes. I think I clocked it at like 3 minutes and 47 seconds driving normal speed. So,
Nice.
and if I had to, I could like run or walk if,
Yeah.
for some reason a car is not working, like I could get there.
Yeah.
So that's also amazing, because that's interesting too, because so my roommate and I had moved into the treatment center, and the plan was always, of course, that we would move out. And so, March comes, I'm like, okay, hey, we got to move out. We got to find a place. So we start looking, and Palos Verdes is very expensive, and there really weren't any places that we could afford. And especially since now I have no income. I'm like, hey, guys, we got to keep it modest. And we looked at another place, and it was a little further away than I wanted, but it was clean. It was nice. It was newly built. It was in our price range, but it was like 25 minutes away from the treatment center and probably 30 in traffic, which still, it's not unreasonable, but do I want to spend an hour driving every day? No. And then the house was nice. It was like a little tiny pocket development inside a larger neighborhood. And it just wasn't the nicest of neighborhoods. And I saw myself standing there, and I saw my mom coming to visit me, and I saw her looking at me and saying, why don't you live in a nice neighborhood? Is this safe? And then me having to tell her, no, Mom, it's actually not safe to live here. And that just wouldn't go well. And then I'd have a big guilt trip. And I'm like, oh, my poor mom has been through enough. Okay, fine. God, I'm going to trust that this is not the best that you have for me, and that you have something better. And I'm just going to fully trust you, even though I need to move out. I need to move out now. I've got to get my stuff and my roommate's stuff out of that treatment center, because we need to furnish the beds and put everything together. And like, I need to take photos and everything. Like, we need to move now, and the urgency is now. But God, I'm going to trust you, and I'm going to say no to something that is good, because I know that there's something better, and you're faithful. And I'm just going to declare that, and I'm going to move forward with that. And so like the next day, this house comes online, and we go and look at it like that day.
That's perfect.
And we move in like 4 days later. And so my roommate and I moved there. It's less than 4 minutes from the treatment center. It's in our price range. It's not the nicest of houses. It's a little run down. We're kind of fixing up some stuff, and the plumber's been there 3 times. But you know what? It's great. It's in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's so close, and having that proximity is wonderful.
Yeah.
That's what's really important to me, is if there's an emergency, I can get there really fast. And if I need to just go for a few minutes and check up on something, I will, because it's not, oh, now I'm going to spend an hour driving there and driving back, because that would be a barrier to me really being present and overseeing it. And I plan to be there all day, every day anyway. And now it's just,
You're going to have to be.
Yeah. It's that much more convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I'm already there.
It is in the beginning. Very important.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 21 years into this treatment center. Well, we're in our 21st year, Hope by the Sea. And I live 3 minutes away.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nice. Do you walk, ride your bike?
No, I drive.
It's cold in the morning. Huh?
Yeah, it's
I know.
freezing.
I thought about that. I'm like, I could ride my bike. I'm like, no, I'd freeze.
Yeah. And I'm still involved.
Yeah.
You know, they can call me if there's an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
And they have,
Yeah.
you know, and sometimes, you know, it being large, as I was growing from, you know, big to bigger, no, for real, you have to still watch your budget, you know, have to be like, we really had to watch our budget. So for a while, like, I was the guy going to the pharmacy to pick up meds, because I really couldn't afford to hire another driver to do that after hours.
Yeah.
You know, and I couldn't afford the overtime.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff that, you know what, if there's something that needs to be done in the beginning, just do it yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just get it done.
Yeah. My
It's
ultimate
cheaper
goal
that
is
way
to
too.
empower my employees to do their job so
Yeah.
that all I do is I just oversee and I touch bases and
Yeah.
I check in with people, because how I would really like to spend my time is like, hey, you know, whoever, like the employees, how are you doing? Is this stuff getting to you? Because they're going to deal with hearing some really terrible, traumatic things that the first responders have been through.
Right.
So caring for my staff, I just want to be able to hang out and show up and like have lunch with them and really see how they're doing and watching how they're giving care and just being a part of it and constantly making sure that all of the structure and the policies and the procedures that we have in place of how we're caring for people is working correctly, and always being on the lookout of how we can do better.
Right.
And the more that I can empower everybody to do their job, then I think the more that I will truly be able to just be that critical eye of how can we be better? Is this working? Is this the best it could be? What are we doing that works well? What are we doing that doesn't work well? And what are we not doing that we need to start doing?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get more into that and less of like, okay, I got to put the pillow encasement thing on the pillow and the mattress. And did I put the bed pad? Like,
Yeah.
I can't wait until I can just pay somebody. Okay, you make the beds. Okay, looks great. Thank you.
What you just explained though is what level 5 leaders do. Level 5 leaders empower and train other leaders.
That's a goal. That's actually one of my sales pitches to the technicians, is helping them grow as leaders and entrepreneurs and giving them the opportunity to be entrepreneurs and to step into leadership if they demonstrate that they have that drive and that capability to grow them in that capacity. Yeah.
I love, one of my favorite things is when I get to promote somebody.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, it's just such a great feeling.
Yeah.
And then send out an email and, you know,
Yeah.
we have like 150 staff members now.
Wow.
Started with like,
Huge.
it was just like 6 of us.
Wow.
Myself, my mom, my ex-wife, Cindy, my dad, and that we had a part-time PhD psychologist working for us.
Yeah.
That's all we had in the beginning. Like my dad was driving people to the Canyon Club in Laguna Beach for AA meetings at 7:00 in the morning in the beginning.
That's going to be me.
Yeah.
I'm getting a Tahoe. I'm like, okay, guys, get in the truck. Here we go.
I mean, my first job was driving the druggy buggy.
Yeah.
I like to call
I'm
it
not getting one of those. I heard there's a stigma about those in the industry. And we're only a 6-bed. I'm like, really? Even if we're full, like one person will probably be in detox. So it's 5 plus 1 driver. So 6. And then if the Tahoe seat's 7 or 8, like Tahoe's good.
Yeah. It's the way to go.
Yeah. Thanks. So
very nice.
Yeah.
I like to call them the alcoholics though. Or there's the Ativan, right?
The Ativan. That's a good one.
I am not buying a Sprinter.
The Sprinters are so nice.
No.
They're sick inside.
We're going to have, really?
Oh, yeah. You make them up.
So at my 6-bed treatment centers, I have like minivans.
Yeah.
Nice Toyota Sienna, the new ones.
Yeah.
The new Toyota Siennas, those are so cool.
Okay.
That's what I have at the 6
Look,
beds.
there's minivans that can seat 11 people, or
What?
yeah, or not. The 9 configuration is nice because it's 4 rows.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and I was like, I don't need 9 people.
You will when you get your second house.
A van of Tahoes,
Which,
Like
maybe a
Secret
Yukon,
Service
Yeah.
right? Or something like rolling deep in trucks. I love trucks. So
I have a Yukon.
yeah,
And a Denali.
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, so I plan to get a couple of those.
Are you gonna get the ones that are bucket bench? Or are you gonna go
I'm looking
bench?
at both.
Bench.
The one I'm looking at this afternoon is bench. So that's 8, which would be nice to have the extra seat, but I don't think we need it. I like the captain chairs in the middle better. So that's the one I'm looking at, I think, on Thursday.
You need to get the long extended. No?
Do you need, the back?
don't know.
You don't think you need this extra stuff?
I don't know.
I don't think we're going anywhere with suitcases. Not all of us all at one time.
Right. What about Costco runs?
There's this thing called delivery. As much as possible, everything will get delivered.
Did you hire a chef? Are you gonna have a chef?
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
I hired a chef.
Nice.
I have a medical director and a chef.
Who's your medical director?
Dr. Christian Small.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
He runs one of our facilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard he's really good.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah. Headlands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I think that I have 3 different medical directors for the different programs.
Yeah.
They're all the best in the industry. I know for real. I think they're all the best in the industry.
Okay.
Dr. Smalls does things. He does. We run Ken Seeley Communities out in Palm Springs, and he was the medical director there.
Great.
And he does a really good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I vetted out a couple different guys, and he seemed to have the best program with the best strategies, and I really liked what he had to offer. So,
Nice.
yeah. And then,
Well, we have something in common there.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a small industry. I'm learning very quickly.
It's small, but you got to watch out. You got to watch out because there are a shit ton of bad players still in this game. So just be mindful.
Okay.
Keep an eye out.
Yes. Yes.
If they seem
The antennas
if they-
are always up.
if they seem sleazy, they are.
Right?
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. If they
Wow.
try to sell you clients. No.
Oh, yeah. No. I watched the movie Body Brokers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I lived that era.
Yeah. I can't even imagine.
It's
But just oof.
it's semi-accurate, the numbers are way wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, and
Yeah.
you know, they got to make drama everything,
Yeah.
but it's semi-accurate.
Okay. Yeah.
That was the wild west. It was, you know,
Mhm.
The Affordable Care Act brought in MBAs into the industry instead of people that are, you know, in recovery and doing it for the right reason.
Mm.
So
Yeah. It'll be an interesting journey, but
Oh, you're going to make it. You'll be fine.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
You're social.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, and you have no plan B. There's nothing else except for to be successful.
Yep.
You know,
This is
and
it.
you know, you can learn a lot in a short amount of time and just keep following God's plan.
So, yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Just looking for all the right people
Yeah.
to be there. And I'm just excited once I get to actually see the men around the dinner table. I got this
Yeah.
awesome 10-person dark wood dining table with really comfy chairs. And I'm just so excited because I've had my friends over and we've had dinner there, but to actually get to see.
6 grown burly firemen around the table.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you do you like
Yeah.
to read books?
I usually listen to them on
Yeah,
audio because I don't
1.5.
sit. Yeah. I don't sit
You read
down
them at
enough.
1.5?
He taught me 1.5.
Oh, 1 point. No, I do 1.25. 1.5 is a little.
Oh.
Only if I don't like the person's voice.
I'm going to be 1.5, bro, because so I just
If
that's why I'm only catching half the book.
I only do audiobooks too. I always say read, but I guess it's
I love
listen.
to listen to books.
Yeah.
Listen to
Absolutely.
books.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can't say read if you're listening to them, huh? Jeez. Anyways,
Technicality.
I'm listening to a really good one right now. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Oh, yeah. Very good.
And it talks about it doesn't literally use the word manifesting, but it uses words such as like visualizing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you start to visualize the clients, your male clients around the dinner
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Well, it's like speaking things into existence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
And
good book.
believing.
A book that
it's
I
really
actually
not-
read. It's called Hung by the Tongue.
Oh, haven't
it's
heard of that one.
It's actually a Christian book, and it talks about the fact that God created us in His own image, and He spoke everything into existence. So it's very important that you speak what you want.
Very.
That's
Yes.
nice. I agree.
Yes.
I say
Our
it out-
words
say it out
have
loud.
a lot
Yeah.
of weight,
Mhm.
and they are very important.
Yep.
And that's something that we'll be teaching on as well, is the power of the tongue, to bless, to curse.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're sometimes hard to believe, but you've seen those little studies of you say nice things to this plant and it grows and it's beautiful, and then you say bad things to this plant and it dies.
Yeah, I'm
gonna
going to
do that.
I'm going to give the same example. The guy bodybuilding. I'm telling you, bro. They were thinking about getting bigger arms. They grew 15%.
Just sitting
Right?
on the couch,
Just sitting on the
thinking about
couch
it.
thinking about going to the gym. They grew muscle mass.
Right? That's insane.
Yeah.
So
So what
I
you're
wonder if
saying-
they talked about it though. Like, are they like, I'm getting stronger today, sitting on the couch. But even if they started moving their arms a little bit, they're gonna,
gain
versus just sitting there watching TV. Now the people that actually went to the gym,
30%.
only double.
30, only double. This is Ryan Seacrest.
I don't
on the
believe it.
way
I
to
don't
the
believe-
office, I was listening.
I don't believe anything he says.
All right.
Come on,
Whatever.
Ryan.
Anyway, there's power in our words.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of power with the things that we believe about ourselves and the agreements that we've made. And that'll be a big thing that we're going to focus on is breaking those negative agreements,
Yeah.
breaking down false narratives, defining the lies and getting rid of them.
Nice.
Yeah. Because a lot of trauma is also rooted in lies
Right.
and especially suicidal ideation.
Mm.
A lot of lies going on there.
Mm-hmm. Like I'm a piece of shit. I'm a loser.
I'm a burden. My family would be better off without me. None of those things are true.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Life sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're going to break in freedom and truth and hope and build people up.
I like hope.
Yeah.
And then it'll be contagious with everybody else they come in contact with.
Yeah, we're here for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for
Yeah,
coming
thanks
down.
a lot.
Yeah,
was
this
really
was so
good.
much fun. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Good time.
Yeah.
That's our thing.
I guess we do that.
I do that.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Beautiful. Wow.
That was fun.